Check. Paris, qu'est-ce qui se passe?
I mean, look at the Washington Monument. It is 555 feet above the ground and 111 feet below the ground. 555 plus 111 is 666. 666, Poppy. 666.
If you have been with us for the past decade, I am pretty sure you have come across something, or rather an artist called Kaytranada. If you've never crossed paths with this artist, consider yourself lucky, and in this video I'm going to convey just how dangerous it is to stream their music and the hidden forces that so badly wish you would. You see, Kaytranada is the moniker of Canadian music producer Louis Kevin Celestin, and I believe that Mr. Celestin is just the face of a much larger hidden organization running Kaytranada. It makes for a great cover. Mr. Celestin is a very talented music producer, and the music he makes, I believe, functions as a formidable subterfuge to get to you. This shadowy organization is hoping you do not look at the details, because if you did, you would realize that Kaytranada has a licensing agreement with the Radio Corporation of America, RCA Records. RCA Records is a subsidiary of Sony Music Entertainment, a multinational corporation that owns other well-known labels such as Epic Records and Columbia Records. Sony Music Entertainment itself is a subsidiary of Japanese conglomerate Sony. As you can see, it is a subsidiary within a subsidiary within a subsidiary. What are they hiding? Well, you see, the fact is, if you want to disseminate a piece of entertainment, there's very few companies that do it better than Sony. And now the question is, who are these shadowy figures committed to seeing Kaytranada disseminated to as many people as possible? I do not have the answer for you, but in my research, I found something even more sinister. Powerful people like this rarely do their own bidding. I found out that this shadowy organization has partnered with your enemies. Yes, you. Your enemies also want you to listen to Kaytranada. So how do I know all of this? I know because it pains me to say, but I'm a victim. I make this video from the bottom of my heart and in the interest of not wanting to see other people fall for the same deception. You see, the moment I first streamed Kaytranada on Spotify, it was over. They got to me, and the events that took place afterwards have been totally ordained. The question you might be asking yourself is, why would your enemies be interested in the music you listen to? Well, the answer is pretty simple. They want you to become them. They want to turn you into a villain like they are. At least that's what happened to me. A long time ago in uni, there was a group of students who were studying the same program as me. They listened to artists such as The Internet, Frank Ocean, Tyler the Creator, and Steve Lacy, just to name a few. Whereas I was just a simple man who listened to Drake, Alicia Keys, Adele, Bruno Mars, and Drake. This group of students used to be what I call genre supremacist. They thought listening to obscure musicians made them pure. I do not know about you, but I believe supremacism and chauvinism are abhorrent, and as such, this group of students became my enemies. While I stayed clear of them, it appears they were conniving, and they wanted me to so badly join the dark side. To achieve that, they unleashed Kaytranada on me, and I have to admit, I did not see it coming. It was in the late 2010s, even as oblivious as I was vaguely aware of the existence of Kaytranada. And would you blame me? Kaytranada was everywhere. He remixed songs from popular and underground artists alike. It was very difficult to avoid him. And fortunately, against all odds, I was able to avoid him because to me, he seemed like someone those students would be listening to. So I steered clear of him too. My downfall came in a few years later in 2021 when I found out that part of the British electronic music duo I used to listen to in high school, Aluna George, had gone solo. Yes, I found out that Aluna went solo in 2020 and I was over a year late. The first thing I did after this devastating and yet exciting news was to jump right into streaming Aluna's debut solo album titled Renaissance. I found it to be a very good album, and certainly better than anything Aluna did after their debut record, Body Music. By far, the best song on Renaissance was titled The Recipe, open parenthesis, prod, dot, by Kaytranada, close parenthesis. Which is a very curious title. Unlike any other song on the album, it had the name of the producer in the title. Why was that? Who approved it? Like I said, powerful forces are involved, and in hindsight I realized, because why would you ruin an otherwise flawless song titling pattern on an album to accommodate a specific producer? Just one specific producer. Anyway, at the time I did not think much of it. I was enraptured by the song, and without thinking, I did what any normal music listener would do. I listened to Kaytranada, a Kaytranada song for the first time, and it was from the album Booba. Unfortunately, I liked a few songs on the album. It was in November 2021, and my life has not been the same since. In the following months, I listened to more of his music, and that was just the tip of the iceberg in my transformation into becoming the very same thing I had sworn to never become. I listened to the internet. Then one thing led to another. I began listening to Steve Lacy, and obviously the Spotify algorithm kept feeding me other musicians like Raven Lene, Shay Leah, Jet Age of Tomorrow, and Rochelle Jordan, just to name a few. But who are these people? Well, they are brilliant musicians. I like them, but I am pretty sure Spotify would have never suggested them to me had I never played Booba. So, in a sense, my enemies were winning. I had started becoming them. I started listening to artists nobody had ever listened to, and I was liking it. At the time, I was becoming aware that I'm likely being fed the Kool-Aid, but I was not entirely there yet, and there was a missing piece. Something I had sworn to never do, which was listening to Tyler the Creator. Like many things this shadowy organization and my enemies do is that they play the long game. One fateful day on the 27th of July in 2023, I finally relented and listened to Tyler the Creator, and it was the song Wilshire, and I liked it, but their mission was complete. Kaytranada may have captured me in 2021, but there's a lot of evidence that he did not stop there. In 2023, Kaytranada collaborated with American rapper Amin on an album as a duo, and they called themselves and the album Kaytramin, a portmanteau of their names. But if you look closely at the name Kaytramin, it looks and sounds like ketamine, a drug, a very addictive drug. As they say, if it looks like a duck, swims like a duck, and quacks like a duck, it probably is a duck. They want you to get high on Kaytranada's music. They even created a subreddit, r/Kaytranada, but I implore you not to go there. The subreddit has a group of dedicated missionaries, and they are planning a devastating mission to get Kaytranada on everybody's ears. And that plan begins with Grand Theft Auto 6. They want to have a Kaytranada radio station in Grand Theft Auto 6, the most anticipated video game of 2026. They are very crafty people in their strategies to get to you. So my advice to you is, if you have not succumbed to the very real urge to press play on that Kaytranada song, keep it that way, or else you will open a can of worms and a Pandora's box all at once. It's a slippery slope. Avoid it while you can. Please, take care.